Vladimir Klitschko, reading today on your Twitter feeds, you're doing conferences, you're doing talks, you're talking about motivation, you're talking about willpower. I scrolled back a little bit, and a couple of days ago, there was a line that said, "I grow through failure." In a lot of people's hands, that would seem like a bland aphorism, but for you, you lived it. It was your truth for a long time. Why now are you telling people this truth? Why do you feel like it's an important thing for you to talk about?
Well, I can reflect back and say what I think could be a good change and motivation for people when they have that. And sometimes we're getting hands down and we're disappointed, we haven't made it, we failed. And I know that through the failure you learn more. Sometimes we discover a totally new life, new ventures, new doors are getting open about existence we didn't know. And I believe if I can at least change for the good someone's or add to someone's life and challenges, I do it with pleasure. And that's my dedication, that's the method, face the challenge that I have created and implemented on personal level, corporate level, and hopefully one day on the governmental level.
The governmental level, so you do have political ambitions too?
No, I don't, no. But I have a politician in my family, that's my brother.
Yeah. Okay, so that would be your field of influence. Can you talk to me about the first time that you failed, that you remember growing from as a fighter? Like, what was the first time that you failed and a while later you went, okay, I understand why that happened?
It is very simple. I was 14 and I got accepted to boarding school for sports, and I had some health challenges that I couldn't change. I just was born this way, and doctors, professors said the most that you can do, an athletic that you can do, is swimming. Nothing else. And swimming not as a competitor, but just a little bit. And I just couldn't believe that it was actually happening to me, and that was a big no. And it was said, if you don't trust us, don't trust me, we're gonna get you another professor. Just show him your X-rays, and then you know what it is. So that was the first a big no, and I definitely, it was not an option actually to me. I was keep on punching, and it was really painful for 6 years. And eventually, when I became 20, things have changed, and my body got adjusted to that challenge, and things went good. I'm happy that it happened, but it was really challenging.
Is that why you did the PhD you did in sports science? You wanted to know about your body and how it works because you'd had that setback. Was that a connection?
In the boarding school, I went through different methods of training, and I saw that my companions, my mates, were broke mentally or physically before they reached the first goals, first wins, and it was really painful to watch. They were better than me and talented more than me, but through the wrong education, through the wrong training program, things were just went south for them. And that's the topic of my PhD work, that I just researched in the same school with 67 other athletes that I've been testing and observing, which made me to think more sustainably, methodically, where you cannot repeat the same mistakes of the previous generation. And if you methodically and sustainably can improve the evolutionary process, which never stops, so and accelerate it, that actually was my motivation later on.
Can I ask you about your career with Emanuel Steward? I know you know that we work with Andy Lee. Andy goes to Emanuel as a young boy, really, and it's his first time away from home properly. You were a grown man, already a champion when you went to Emanuel, and yet I suspect because of your attitude, he changed you as a fighter quite significantly, even though you were already quite mature.
Emanuel Steward, absolutely. Andy Lee lived with Emanuel Steward. We were we were one group of athletes, and Emmanuel is a mentor of us, as an icon. He has changed us for the best, and I know how that reflected on Andy Lee's career, his style, his way of fighting, taking challenges. So it was a key person in my sporting career that I learned from a lot, and I'm actually carrying the fire that Emmanuel lightened up. And yes, Emmanuel is not with us anymore, but and I have love and respect for him. And obviously, it was in the past, and now I just want to carry the fire that keep the fire light and alive that actually Emmanuel started. So I hope to give it also to future generations. And I believe that everything what we have gained, we need to conserve and pass to the future and make it in different ways. Now through digitalization, we're the Web Summit here. And I think digitalization is the key to improve life in different stages and levels, not just somewhere else, but also in sports.
What is the fire that Emmanuel Stewart gave you? How do you describe it?
He was an amazing teacher, and I believe that that's what I faced. A lot of different teachers were trying to teach the others just the way they want to see it and want to do it, and there's no agility in the way of teaching. And I believe Emmanuel was super agile. He was really following the quote of Darwin: not the strongest is going to survive, and not the smartest, but someone who is adjusting himself to the environment. And I believe Emmanuel did it exactly the same. That's how I can describe it. He was giving this agility to his fighters to adjust to the competition, to adjust to the styles, to adjust himself to challenges, to be able to fight when you're tired. Endurance was one of the keys. Learn it. Learn when you're tired, not when everything is good. Learn when it's really tough and difficult, and think more about failures and mistakes that you possibly could make, not just about success and how I'm gonna knock him out and everything, but learn how difficult it's going to become, and learn it how you do it in training, and then to transform it into the actual fight.
He clearly had a relationship with you that you trusted so much. There's a famous fight when you look back at the highlights where in between rounds he just puts his hand on your shoulders and says, you need to go forward now. This is your time to win this fight. And the next round you knock out your opponent. It's one of your defenses in the middle of it.
Manny was amazing. He was screaming once in a while. It was like, come on man, you're losing, or you just need to let it go. Let your hands go. Don't hold back. Don't hesitate. And hesitation was my issue. So he was sometimes, he didn't smack, but he was like, you gotta do it. Just do it. He was like raising his voice, but he was an amazing pitcher. And eventually it worked out.
Can I, two things I want to ask about. Did you spar Andy for fights to see what the lighter fighters would do against you?
Yes.
What were they like?
We did spar. Oh man, he's a softball. He was extremely fast with his hands. He could reach unreachable, so it was difficult to reach, but he did a really great job. It was challenging for me, even though he's lighter and smaller, but it was challenging for me to spar with him. I mean, it was an amazing sparring partner.
Good to get for those fighters who are going to run away from you. Can I ask you about the Joshua fight and your reaction to that? Because I think in the eyes of the world, everybody knew you were a great champion, but that was the night where yourself and Joshua in the 5th and 6th round produced one of the greatest spectacles that we've seen in the ring since the 60s and 70s. It was an all-time great fight. For you, in the context of learning from failure, I don't know if you view that as a failure though, because it was such a fantastic evening, and as a boxing historian you've got a place in history now that no one's ever going to take away. So I just wanted to ask you how you feel about that fight now in retrospect.
There is a lot in that fight. That fight actually made me think differently. I was obsessed about to become a champion, again, being a champion. What is it? 12 years. The longest combined rating champion in the history. Do something good to talk about it. Well, it's the fact. And what I want to say with that, I have experienced a lot of success, but I never ever have experienced success when you fail. So I failed, and my slogan of the team was failure is not an option for a long time. But after this fight, I decided to change it. Failure with obsession is an option because out of it came much more. Just to experience that, I probably wouldn't change the end of the fight. My ego would, but I wouldn't just to experience that. And I know, and I kind of, I'm facing those people who have experimented with artificial glass, those scientists that eventually created Post-it or super glue, and it was a failure. They haven't succeeded in the first. Christopher Columbus was on his way to India and he failed, so he discovered North America. So there's a lot of things that has changed. Michael Gilbert's, I was just listening to his interview, he said, I lost a job, he was fired, and he's created something new as with those Gilbert's empire, you know, in business. Some things that we think we fail, but it creates an amazing opportunity for those. That was very special.
Not in boxing though, for you. Are you finished? Is that 100%? Because there are some rumors.
Oh, am I finished? I still got it. Not yet. Not yet. Why am I coming back? I'm not going to be back in the sport to break a job, but I'm going to be back in the sport. I can imagine to be back in the sport to break a record. And what is the next record? George Foreman's record.
Right.
But listen, then, like 2 more years I need to wait, or 3 more years to break the record to become the oldest heavyweight champion. Is that going to happen? Is that appealing to me? I don't know. I mean, it is appealing to me, but is it going to happen? I don't know. So as I said, not yet. It's not a topic right now. I have my life, my second career. I have a lot of things to do. Not that just I have nothing to do, so I will think about coming back in the ring. So I'm busy with my life. Do I miss boxing? Yes, absolutely. I miss my team. And I miss to focus on one thing at a time. Because now my life is like spread out all over the place. So I have different interests and I have different chairs to sit on. So I don't want to sit between the chairs, but I enjoyed my time, as I said, in sport, to be an athlete. It's exciting.
Are you conscious of the fact that you're actually more popular after the Joshua fight? That you were like Michael Schumacher, who dominated, or Tiger Woods, who dominated. But when Tiger Woods came back, he was a much more popular winner. Like, do you understand that defeat in the heart that night? Because you dominated the sport for so long, people took it for granted. But when that fight happened, it was like, holy moly, this guy's good.
Holy moly. Let's wait and see.
Do you know that though? Are you aware of the fact that you become more popular in defeat after that?
I don't know. I don't have a measure of temperature. Am I like more popular or not?
Not something you feel.
It was something. Well, I've been in this sport for such a long time, and I know that there are new generations that haven't watched my fights. Things change, and I'm accepting it, and I'm just enjoying any and every challenge I have in my life. And there are a lot of challenges. And if that's going to be a challenge, I don't know. Let's see, there's 2 more years probably to wait for it. Is that going to be real? I don't know.
You're keeping yourself in shape though.
I'm working out every day.
Yeah.
I still got it.
Just in case. That'd be good stuff.